But yeah, you guys, this is the part 2. I realized on my other video I really didn't give an explanation on why I ended up quitting. And long story short, this video is going to be very short. It's just I guess part 2 to what I just uploaded. The real reasons why I quit stripping in Atlanta. And I'm sorry my face is a little red. It is what it is. So basically, guys, I just got like a serious burnout as far as stripping in general. I got sick and tired of the drama and the backstabbing between dancers, other ladies I worked with, as well as management. It was like a double-sided, never-ending game of BS with management, especially at Claremont. The management at Ecstasy was much better. It was straightforward, and the same rules apply to everybody. And I think with Claremont, in all honesty, you guys, it's favoritism. And they have their favorite ladies, their favorite dancers, and so whoever's pretty much sucking up to the bosses the most, in my opinion, is going to be more favorable than someone like me who's honestly blunt. And that's pretty much it. And I got to the point, you guys, too, in regards to Claremont, like I was saying earlier, I got sick and tired of going to work, you know, and sitting there like Thursday and Fridays. Sometimes you wouldn't make it anything because nobody comes in until like 7 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock. And I know that because, like I said, I used to do double shifts. I'd work 2 to 11 or 2 to 3 a.m., whatever I needed to do for the day just to get by and survive. So that's how I know, like, sometimes nobody would come in. And then sometimes there's circumstances where, like, okay, you'll have like a couple come in, which is fine. You'll have a few guys, you know, come in, but they don't want to spend any money on dancers. All they want to do is sit around and get drinks from the bar, and that's fine too, because the bar needs to make their money too. It's not all about me or us dancers. But when you have a car note to pay, and when you have rent to pay, you're trying to keep, you know, your credit cards up to par, per se. You want to make as much as you can, and that's the whole point of being there. So why would I continue to waste my energy in that kind of situation? And don't get me wrong, I know being a dancer, as long as I have been a dancer, just because you go to a strip club and just because you work there, also, this is free game, guys. You are not guaranteed you're gonna make anything. As I stated before, it changes literally every second. For example, I would go to Claremont and I can make $400 within an hour. I mean, it just depends. And then it could take me 3 days to make $400. And that's my reality anyway. I don't care what these other influencers say, that they make $5,000 a night. That might be true for them. But for me, I tell it as I see it. And that wasn't the case. Now, I went into work, I've made over $1,000 before 8 o'clock on day shift. It just depends on who comes in, and I think that's in any club or any dancer, not just myself. So, but when it gets to a point, because of so many different factors, because of COVID came and shut the club down for a few months, which was standard everywhere, and that was fine. To, like, our parking lot at Claremont was taken over by Hotel Claremont, which is fine, it's fabulous. But I do believe that hurt us as a strip club as well, in my opinion, because it made it harder for our customers to find parking. Because most of the parking now is on the street or wherever you can find a space, and hopefully you find one. And that was a part of it too. And the area itself in general is just changing, and I don't like the way it was changing. If you're not familiar with that area, you won't understand what I'm talking about, but for those of you that know the area, you know what I mean. It's just changed tremendously, and not in a good way. It was getting to the point, you guys, basically, like, I would have to take the bus in Atlanta to work when I have a car. And the reason I was doing that was because you couldn't find a place to park, and I don't want to walk 2 streets over when I don't really have to. So I would have to take that in consideration. Like, Thursday and Friday wasn't bad driving, but like Saturday, And especially, you know, if like the vice president was in town or something like that, you know, I can't help traffic. And like the last time that I worked there, they got on to me because when I was late. But again, I didn't know uh, a big politician was in town per se. And because of that, I was late. But I can't help traffic. What do they want me to do? Walk 20 miles just to get to work? And even at that rate, once I got there, let's say I got there at 6 o'clock, they'd still yell at me and I'd be working there for 2 hours? Tell me that makes sense. But it was just a lot of like stupid things, to be honest with you, why I quit there. And again, as far as ecstasy, it was just the way that the club was set up and how it was running. I guess I didn't catch on, or maybe I didn't give it enough time to make it work for me, but I was kind of in a situation where I needed something that worked then, and that's my honest thoughts about that. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the reasons why I quit dancing in Atlanta. And again, I don't know, maybe like 2 years from now, I might come out of hiatus if I can find another club